all the fighters that he has knocked out, all the fighters that he has fought in the last 10 fights where he actually started fighting big names, they're all tailor-made for him. They're all tailor-made for Jaron Boots Ennis. None of those fighters fight like me. None of those fighters have even the style or come close to the style that I bring to the table.
Xander or Boots? No, Xander. ¿Por qué? Xander, no. Primeramente es puertorriqueño, es boricua como yo. Y aparte que ese boricua, y con mucho orgullo lo digo, es el campeón fuerte. El campeón que tiene mucha fortaleza, mucha condición física. Y sé que con su experiencia, que ya llegó a ser campeón, ya tuvo una primera defensa,
I think Xander Zayas is a naturally bigger fighter. He's going to be, very confident, have the confidence of youth on his side. The fact he's going to have a big Puerto Rican fan base right there in New York. But Boots is special. Boots is elite, and he's, that close to cracking pound for pound, because he has pound for pound ability. He just needs pound for pound opponents to actually face and champions. And a young unified.
I like them both. I really like how Xander is handling all this. He's down to fight whoever, whenever. And he's already 23 years old. He's already a unified champion, and I like that about him. He's not afraid to get his feet wet in this division. So, but Boots is a tremendous fighter, very skilled as well. I'm gonna go with. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go.
Xander, he's real good at one thing I always liked about Xander. He's real good at sticking to the game plan. Like he listens very well in the corner. You know what I mean? To instructions that's given to him. He's always in dog shape, and he's somebody that, he has a lot of will to win.
Xander Zayas is putting his pristine undefeated record and unified junior middleweight titles on the line against Jaron Boots Ennis at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. 4 years, the script in modern boxing has been simple. Protect your zero, take safe mandatories, and cash out. But Zayas is tearing that script to shreds.
Damn, this is going to be something hard to make, right? But you're just saying it's easy, bro.
Man, to be honest, when you want to be great, it's easy to do it. You just got to go and do it. It's when you put too many buts and no but this, no but that, no but it got to be, and that's too many excuses. Let's make the fight happen. He's from Philly. I'm from Puerto Rico. We both sell in the East Coast. Yeah. We have proved that we both sell in the East Coast. So why not make it happen here in New York?
Promoters are baffled, legends are stunned, and a massive portion of the combat sports world is quietly whispering that this young phenom might just have the perfect blueprint to dismantle the favorite.
Zayas, man. What do you think? You think he could beat Boots Ennis?
Well, if anybody can, it'd be him, but that's a hell of a task he's taking on at an early age, too, you know what I mean? So I would have liked to see him wait just a little bit longer, get a couple more fights in, but sometimes when the money calls, the fight has to happen. Money called, the fight gotta happen, so it's what it is.
Jaron Ennis.
Behind closed doors, the ink on this fight contract sent shockwaves through the highest levels of the sport. Eddie Hearn himself admitted he was in utter disbelief when Top Rank actually allowed Zayas to sign the papers.
But when they told me that Zayas was interested in the fight, I said, no way. It doesn't matter whether Zayas is interested. Top Rank won't let him fight Boots. And honestly, I could not believe it when he signed the contract. And it worries me a little bit, because I just think, why? And listening to him there, he shows you why. Because he wants to prove he's the best. We need to celebrate that. But this feels like Mayweather-Canelo all over again. This generational great who's going too early. But you have to give him his props. But this guy is different, and he will show how many more levels he's got. But he needs great fighters like Zayas to bring that out of him.
And I said should Boots win. Boots said when he wins, on June 27th, and that Ortiz fight comes back around. Boots with 2 belts, does that kind of change all the terms of what you guys?
No, listen, I've got to be honest with you. Boots is the easiest guy to deal with in that respect. He doesn't overprice himself. He doesn't act unreasonably. By the way, he gets top money, but it's never about the money. Like, of all the guys I negotiate with at that level, He's the one that goes, I leave it to you, get me what's right, but I need greatness. Get me the belts, I want to unify, I want to become undisputed. We need to make Fundora.
Think about it, Zayas is already a 2-division champion with a massive built-in Puerto Rican fan base behind him. He had every financial incentive to take a comfortable, highly marketable path. He could have fought lesser names, padded his resume, and let the money roll in. Instead, he chose a high-stakes collision that Hearn compares to the historic Mayweather versus Canelo clash. A generational talent jumping straight into the deep end. The sheer risk of abandoning a safe career trajectory to face a highly feared opponent proves one thing. Zayas and his team see something in Boots Ennis that the rest of us are missing.
I just want to say that I made it happen because it's something that I wanted. It's something that I'm confident on that I'm gonna win on June 27, and it was easy for me to say yes. I've always said yes to all the names, all the big names in the division. I've always said yes every time they came to me, and this is the first opportunity where the other fighter also says yes and is willing to face me.
Well, Virgil Ortiz, certainly a great fighter, and certainly someone everyone wants to see you fight in the future. Let's put a bookmark on Virgil and talk about the real fight you have in front of your hands against Jaron Ennis. He's already fired the first shot and says he doesn't really see much in you and he can beat you however he wants. What is your reaction to this?
That's fair. I feel like that's the way he should think. You know, if he didn't think that way, then he wouldn't be a fighter. I feel like it's the same way. I'm gonna rip his heart out. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take him to somewhere he's never been. You know, he's gonna feel uncomfortable. He's gonna be uncomfortable when it comes to fight night. It's easy to face guys that you're bigger than them, you're more athletic than them. But when you're facing a guy that is as big as you, that is as athletic as you, that is as composed, as smart as you.
A massive part of that hidden blueprint relies on a physical reality nobody is talking about. Jaron Ennis might be the explosive terror of the welterweight division, but moving up to 154 pounds comes with a brutal price tag. Legendary trainer Robert Garcia was quick to issue a stern warning. He pointed out that Ennis hasn't truly tasted that crushing power at this new weight.
Boots and Xander, you know, it's right. I mean, it's credit to Xander, right? Taking on a guy that I'm sure most people told him not to, but he is a unified champ. You gotta fight the guys.
And look, and I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls it off. Very few give him a chance, but he's a big boy. He's strong. He has the heart, and a fighter that's dedicated, because I know he's very dedicated, very disciplined, heart, and he's big enough to be able to take Boots' punch. 12 rounds is not going to be easy for Boots. I could tell you, 12 rounds, Boots would have to look sensational and put a beating on him the first half of the fight. But I think if it goes later, I think Boots is in trouble because Xander has tremendous heart, big boy. He's a warrior. He has the heart that won't stop him. He won't back up. I think he has a chance. Honestly, I do.
It's gonna be a great fight, man.
It is easy to get blinded by Ennis' highlight reel knockouts, but the sharpest minds in boxing see the hidden flaws. Timothy Bradley broke down the terrifying fight IQ that Zayas brings to the table, emphasizing his uncanny ability to decode an opponent's patterns. Boots is wildly gifted, but he has a well-documented habit of getting overconfident. He drops his hands, showboats, and leaves defensive gaps that an elite tactician can exploit. Zayas isn't going in there to throw wild haymakers. He is stepping through those ropes with a highly disciplined, surgical game plan designed specifically to capitalize on those brief moments of arrogance. Every time Ennis gets comfortable, Zayas will be right there, ready to punish the mistake with absolute precision.
You know, his game, he gets too impatient sometimes because he's constantly on the hunt looking for a knockout and looking to counter. You know, we know Boots like to be first. We know he likes to bring the action and bring the pain. You know, he needs to learn discipline. That's it. And Xander's that guy that can make him learn that real fast because Xander's one of those dudes that's going to tax your mistakes. That's what he does. He tax these guys that come forward, he tax their mistakes. Now he's in there with a quick guy, in the athletic fighter in Boots Ennis. But, you know, Boots make mistakes. He make mistakes. He does. And fleet-footed guys have shown to give him issues. Guys that are slick. guys that can move, have given him issues. Anyways, man, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, man, this ain't no damn...
If you think this fight is going to be a stationary brawl in the center of the ring, think again. Analysts like Coach Breadman and Shane Mosley have mapped out exactly how Zayas will neutralize that explosive power. Zayas will outright refuse to stand still and trade blows. Instead, he is expected to utilize elite lateral footwork reminiscent of Miguel Cotto's late career style.
I think it's a lot closer too because Xander Zayas is a really good boxer, puncher. Well, he's really big for 154.
Absolutely.
And I think that he can move around really good. He's got a lot of great combinations and stuff like that. But it's going to be a tough fight for him because Boots is actually a big fighter too as well and has a lot of skills, not just punching power, but he has a lot of boxing skills as well. And he can go from right-handed to left-handed, at any time. So that could be a problem for Xander Zayas. But I think both guys, it's gonna be a hard fight, and I think it'll be a very interesting fight to see what happens. So I'm not really sure the outcome of that, but I think that it'd be a great fight.
Yeah, so somebody's old has to go. That's what I like about these fighters. You have to give a lot of credit to Xander Zayas for even stepping up to the plate, with a skillful fighter like Jaron Boots Ennis. But Shane, if you were training Xander Zayas, how do you get the job done? How do you nullify that speed? How do you stop that power?
Well, I think that Xander Zayas will have to be more of a volume puncher, kind of like with I'm forgetting his name, Fendura.
Yes.
Like Fendura was like a volume puncher. And I think that he has to keep Boots Ennis, occupied with all the punches and movements and stuff like that. But if he stays there right in front of him, then, then Boots is going to take his toll on him. But I think that activity for Xander Zayas will be the key for him.
Combining that constant movement with relentless, high-volume punching, Zayas will force Ennis to reset his feet constantly. Boots thrives when he can plant and unleash combinations on a static target. Take away the stationary target, bombard him with volume, and suddenly the heavily favored fighter is forced to think rather than just destroy. It is a stylistic nightmare that tests a fighter's patience more than their chin.
They're going to show love. And I'm excited.
Zayas isn't just winning the physical battle. He is launching direct psychological warfare. He boldly claimed that Ennis's last 10 knockout victims were entirely tailor-made for the highlight reel. They were shorter, linear fighters who marched directly into the line of fire. Zayas possesses physical parity, comparable athleticism, and angles that Boots simply hasn't encountered before. He is a master at countering and controlling space, turning a standard boxing ring into a maze of traps.
Some tough rounds with Boots back in Philly. They're saying that fight with Xander might be really happening in June. What do you think of that fight? What chances do you give Xander based on your experience sparring and getting rounds in with Jaron?
I think it's going to be a way better fight than people is giving it. You know what I mean? I think Xander kind of a big dude too. Yeah. Boots is real strong as well, so yeah, he kind of a big dude. But man, I think it's gonna be a war in my opinion. I think they're gonna bang it out.
Did you ever spar with Xander?
Well, he was young. When
was this?
We was kids. Like this was probably like 2017, like almost 10 years ago. It was like 2017.
2 years before he became pro.
Yeah. So he was real young.
Was he always a boxer first? Is that always his style?
He was always he always been like a boxer, like an aggressive boxer. You know what I mean? Like basically like he could bang, but he always had that boxing in him. Like he could box. You know what I mean? So even then he had it. Xander could fight, man. You know what I mean?
The Puerto Rican star confidently asserts that the Philadelphia powerhouse has never experienced a puzzle this complex. When Ennis throws his best combinations and hits nothing but air, the frustration will inevitably start to build.
People talk about his chin. What you walking around at a fight night? You about 180 right now. You about 180 right now.
Let's keep it about 180 right now. Let's keep it at that.
You bigger than that? Damn.
180.
Cruiserweights in there. All right, let's talk about this fight, man. I do feel Jaron is a very talented fighter. I thought he was a big
147 pounder, so he still have decent size, but you're bigger than him, like in stature. Without giving too much up, what worries you about him? Like, what do you have to be concerned with in the ring?
His speed, and his IQ. I gotta always be 10 steps ahead of him. I can't give him no space. I can give him no chance. If he sees a chance, he's gonna take advantage of it. I mean, he's a good fighter. He knows how to read another fighter. I mean, we've seen it throughout his career. So he knows how to read fights. He knows how to read a fighter, but he's never been uncomfortable either.
People have been. This is what I've been hearing, right? For some experts, off the record, saying that Jaron gets hit, right? We all seen him get hit in fights, but people like to say, well, it's because he's comfortable in there getting hit with those guys. He's a better defensive fighter than that, right? But he does get hit at fights.
And that's what I say, that's for sure.
So people are saying, a lot of people are starting to say, this fight is a lot more interesting than people think. Xander's a big guy at this weight class. When you watch those fights and see him get hit, do you think to yourself, like, wow, there's so much vulnerability there. Like, I know exactly what to do to this.
That's what I think of myself. He better not get hit because, again, he's never been uncomfortable. He's been hit, but he's been okay. Like, I can still, he rolls with those punches.
Right.
You know, every time he gets hit flush, you can see it. He gets uncomfortable, but then he gets back to.
Right.
And these guys, they don't have the IQ. They don't have the technique to keep building on that, right?
Right.
I do, and you guys have seen it. I build on everything. On everything I do is just something added extra to that layer. And there's no fights that you can tell me I haven't seen nothing new from you. There's always something that I get better at. There's something that I improve at. And this fight, I will continue to do that. Again, it's easy to be there and be comfortable with all these guys and be comfortable getting hit. But what when you're not?
The greatest danger for Jaron Ennis on June 27th isn't just the man standing across from him. It is the psychological trap of being the heavy favorite. Sergio Mora highlighted that if Boots treats this matchup as just another stepping stone, he is in for a rude awakening. Zayas is younger, hungrier, and operating with a massive chip on his shoulder. He knows the world expects him to lose. If Ennis lets showboating compromise his discipline even slightly, the young unified champion will dictate the pace. A measured, relentless approach from Zayas will slowly chip away at that supreme confidence. It only takes a few small lapses in judgment for control of the fight to shift completely, leaving the favorite dangerously vulnerable under the bright light.
I mean, he is unified champion, right? You have the belts, you got to fight the guys, right? You know, Boots, second fight, I believe, now at 54. Just stylistically, how do you think the fight starts and then eventually plays out?
I think Xander Zayas is a naturally bigger fighter. He's going to be, very confident, have the confidence of youth on his side. The fact he's going to have a big Puerto Rican fan base right there in New York. But Boots is special. Boots is elite, and he's, that close to cracking pound for pound because he has pound for pound ability. He just needs pound for pound opponents to actually face and champions. And a young unified champion like Xander Zayas would do that. It'll remind me of when Canelo Alvarez stepped up to fight Mayweather. It was too much too soon, but it went the distance. He got a big payday. He learned a lot from it, and Canelo still became great. So if Xander comes up short against a potential great, future great fighter in Boots, it's all right, man. As long as he puts up a good fight, and you never know, man. Maybe he could do something special with the power.
The Barclays Center is going to host more than just a fight. It will be the ultimate test of ambition over preservation. Xander Zayas is putting everything on the table against a man most fighters actively run away from. The boxing world is split down the middle. Will this be a harsh reality check for a young star who stepped up way too soon? Or are we about to witness a masterful dismantling that crowns a brand new pound-for-pound king? The traps are set, the strategies are locked in, and the sport will never be the same after the final bell rings. Make sure you drop your prediction in the comments and let us know who you think walks out of Brooklyn with the unified belt.